All right. Well, welcome everybody. We've got a lot of great information here today that we will be covering in a short period of time. So I really appreciate everybody carving out some time this evening. And some of you, I could tell in the morning time, I saw some Singaporeans dialed in and some people in Australia. So wherever we got you at, whether it's morning or night, I'm not sure, but want to thank you for carving out some time here today. We've got a very special speaker today that you're going to get the opportunity to be able to hear why she's so fired up about the Remont opportunity. And she's a good friend of mine, amazing energy. You're gonna love her. She's just got such a passion for life, not just for business, but also for life. She's just a dear friend of mine. And a little bit about her background. She's actually been in the space for about 8 years. She's been primarily in the beauty industry, having a ton of success in the beauty industry, focusing primarily on makeup, and she just knows she's so knowledgeable about that industry. And when she came over here to Remont and I got a chance to meet her, I was just like blown away by her charisma and her passion for helping people out. She's got 3 kids, single mom, making it happen. I mean, it's just an unbelievable story. Single parent, single income household, and she's just making it happen in a major way. And what's remarkable, she actually became she got a part of a modeling agency, one of the top in New York, at the age of 45. And I'm like, I can't even believe she's 45 years old. I mean, gosh, but she's doing an amazing job building Remont and helping people achieve massive success. So she's going to share with you a little bit about the industry and the company and about the products and why she's so fired up. And then I'll jump on here afterwards and share with you a little bit about how we make money for some of you that might be open-minded to increasing your bottom line in your finances. So with that being said, I'm going to get myself out of the way and go over to Florida and introduce you to a good friend of mine, powerhouse, and just a ball of energy, Ms. Katie Martin. Thanks for joining us and welcome to the call.
Mr. Tim Hurt, give it up, everybody. Give Tim some claps in the chat. That is such a sweet, sweet welcome. I appreciate you so much, honey. Meeting Tim was like meeting you. He doesn't know a stranger. You meet him and it's like he's your best friend. And I truly feel like I could call him any hour of the day and he would entertain whatever crazy cockamamie idea I had. So thank you for being in my corner. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you truly for being such a flame for this brand and for this movement and what we're doing, because it's such a contagious energy being around that. And I think, you want to be in the room with people that know more than you, that are smarter than you, that have the life that you want, and truly, just embody what success means. And what that means here is that we help one another, and together we have the success. So again, my name is Katie Martin, and I'm coming to you from the great state of Florida. I did not live here except my whole life. I'm a transplant. I was a COVID transplant. I'm one of those people that just, descended, and now I'm part of the problem in Florida, which is so many people here, but it's wonderful. We love living here. It's incredible. We live at the beach. I am a single mom. I have 3 children. I have a 16-year-old son, 11-year-old son, and a 14-year-old daughter. They're all athletes. They're amazing. They keep me on my toes. But I have been blessed to be introduced to this industry about 8 years ago. And when I say that it was a blessing, it was like one of those things that I never saw coming. I did not think that I was, I thought that I was set. Up until that point, I was a photographer for 14 years. I had a successful studio. I had staff. I, was heavily, heavily invested in that. And it was just who I was. I was known as the photographer. So for me to transition my business, which I was so intensely emotionally connected to, really for network marketing to kind of come along by surprise and lure me away from that was really, really a big deal. So in any case, what I did learn, however, when I was a photographer, was that I was obsessed with being a part of someone's personal transformation. And for me, that was like such a core principle about like what got me on fire and lit up to get up every day and go to work, was I specialized in women's portraits, which when you have a woman that is not ready to spend money on herself, let alone come in with no makeup on her face and just a a handful of outfits, and she's basically like, what am I even doing here? I have no idea, like, who convinced me to do this? Like, and to watch that person go through a beautiful hair and makeup, and then to sit with me and for me to earn her trust and to make her feel at ease so that I can really connect with her, and then for her to offer her true self to me in this way of absolutely blooming into this most confident version of themselves was the most soul fulfilling thing I could ever witness. It had nothing to even do with like what monkey business I was doing behind the camera. It was the fact that I got to play a role in witnessing someone really come to terms with who they are and the best, most idealistic version of themselves, which they probably look in the mirror every single day and don't see that. Their kids might see it, their husband might see it, somebody else might see it, but they don't see it. And so it was my mission to convince these gals, like, you are gorgeous, you are belong in a Chanel ad, whether you believe it or not. And here I'm gonna take your picture, I'm gonna put your face on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna hand you the proof. And so that was for me being part of somebody's personal transformation and getting the messages later like, oh my God, I started wearing a bikini for the first time in 20 years because I didn't have the confidence to pull it off, or I chopped all my hair off, or man, I went and go bought a totally new wardrobe, or I did something that I never would have done had I not had that experience that really just gave me the opportunity to be reintroduced to myself, something I forgot about myself. So that is something that I truly just became obsessed with. And so whenever I kind of collided with direct sales and it was this makeup company, I truly didn't even see that as a new calling for me or a new industry or a new business. I just thought that this was like a cool tool that for the business that I already had, and it wasn't until I realized how much fun I was having and how attracted people were to it, and that it just sort of took on a life of its own. And then it truly became cost prohibitive for me to continue to spend my time shooting pictures because I was making so much money and impacting way more lives than I ever could satisfying 20 clients a month in my studio. So I was turning a business model, and I was able to impact and scale it in a way where the ethos of who I was the same. It didn't matter if I had a camera in my hand or a makeup brush in my hand, that I was impacting someone's life. And that meant something so dearly to me about the core of who I was. So I'm going to come back to little parts of my story, but it's important for you to know that my calling I see here, I feel here, and I am satisfying that same ethos of who I really am with this company in such a major way, in a way that has allowed me to evolve naturally, gracefully, and intentionally from this photographer into this direct sales thing that I had no idea what this industry was even about, and then learning a lot and then growing into this new opportunity that just is now blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind, and I can't wait to blow your minds tonight with some of the data and information that I have to share with you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna answer some questions. I'm gonna just walk you through what I'm about to present, and then I'm gonna hand it back to Mr. Tim Herr, who is the money magnet man. Okay, so he's the perfect person to talk to you about the comp plan. So what I'm going to answer for you tonight is, who is Riemann in the first place? Who are we? Why Riemann? Why did I choose it? And then also, I'm going to walk you through kind of the house of Riemann and the products that we have inside, the many rooms that we have inside of Riemann. And then more importantly, why right now? Why right now? So I don't know why it's asking me if I'm speaking Chinese, Tim. I'm getting pop-ups. So I'm just gonna say decline. I'm sorry if I'm messing something up. Okay, Zoom, I tell ya, one of these days I'll get great with technology. Okay, so who we are. So Riemann was established in Korea in 2018, and it quickly grew to $2.5 billion in revenue in just the first 4 years. And that for me was a real, like, you say, what now? How much money they did in a short period of time? And just to give you some context for all the people that are living in the US, Korea is the size of Indiana. So that is a tiny, tiny little place. And there's only about 50 million people that live there, and they sold nearly 40 million bottles of our products to a country that only has 50 million people. So put that in your brain for a second. Like, that is astonishing. And also, Korea has always been known as like the top gun of skincare. It's the mecca. It's the gold standard in the world for skincare. So not only did we start there, but there's over 4,000 other skincare brands in that tiny little country. So you best believe if you're going to your family barbecue, your cousin's in skincare, your babysitter's in skincare, her sister's in skincare, your nephew's in skincare, everybody's in the business. So for us to do $2.5 billion in revenue in 4 years' time, when everybody's in skincare and become the #1 K-beauty brand in that country, is bananas. It is absolutely bananas to think about that. And that certainly got my attention when some of those facts and figures were kind of rolling out and coming my way. I was like, what? Very, very crazy statistics. We have 13 patents. We've won 25 global awards on our products. We are it. So what I also want to answer for you, not only is what is Remon, but what is K-beauty? For people that aren't familiar with what K-beauty is, the short little definition, I'll say, is that it's honoring oneself through application. It also is what I would call root cause dermatology. So basically, we are there to treat the root cause of the problem, not problem solve. I actually love that. I love not having a pill for everything. I want to get to the heart of the matter. Why are we experiencing these things in the first place? And so, because this is healthcare, it's literally healthcare for your face and for your body, which is your largest organ, your body's largest organ. It deserves to get taken care of in the same way that you would take care of any other system, your cardiologist or whatever. This is like the best thing you could do for your largest organ. So root cause dermatology, honoring oneself through application, that really hit home for me. I am a busy, busy mom of three. I run a business. I have a huge social media following. Like, I am working all day long. And so for me, and for a lot of, I would say, people in America, if you were to hand me another to-do list, I would be like, get out of here. I don't want to hear another thing. You take your list and go get hightailing on out of here. But when you present me with an opportunity to spend 5 minutes in the bathroom, just me, light my little candle, say my affirmation, and just honor oneself, spend some time thanking the person in the mirror, saying, I appreciate all you've done today to make the world a better place. I appreciate everything that you've done to help us get closer to the dream that we're building, whatever that is. That is a huge moment of intimacy with yourself. And that is very attractive for someone in my position where I'm like, I just need a minute. Mom needs a break, right? So to offer me this in the form of not a to-do list, not a multi-step routine, this is a moment of self-care and honoring the transformation in your life on every level. I love that. And that really spoke very, very loudly to me. So intracellular dermatology, you're going to hear me say ICD a whole lot of times. ICD means that root cause dermatology, meaning intracellular dermatology. Our products are specifically created and designed to go deep within the deepest layers of the skin to treat the root causes so that your acne and your hyperpigmentation and your rosacea and all of those problems that happen afterward, we can solve them from the beginning, which I also just love so much. Okay, our brands are ICD Skincare. That's our main, like, the steak on the plate. That's always been a kind of our bread and butter. And then we have Bodalab Hair Care and Body Care. That's the other room in the house. We have Lifening, which is our Deep Talk Plus. It's a gut microbiome consumable product that helps your skin as well, and a collagen consumable product that's beautiful, marine collagen. And then we just recently launched an ICD makeup line that has our skincare infused right into the makeup. I'm wearing it tonight, and I can say after a very long time in the makeup game, it is blowing my mind with how unique and special it is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So why Remon? Let's get into that a little bit. So I like to talk to Remon about why Remon when I refer to the big three. So what are the big three? The big three for me and the big three for you guys are our giant Byung Pool plant, the Jeju lava energy water, which is an ingredient that we use in our plant innovations and in our formulations. And the third thing is our nanoliposomal technology. So we're going to unpack those three things. So first, the giant Byung Pool plant. Okay, so a heritage ingredient, when you hear that term, is technically something that's been in Korean skincare and Asian cultures and Eastern cultures for a very long period of time. And it's common. It's very widely used, widely appreciated. And the Centella asiatica plant, commonly known as like pennywort, you might hear it be called. You might hear it be called something called tiger grass. It kind of got its cool street name with the tiger grass because back in the day when the tigers would battle in the wild and they would claw at each other and they would get badly injured, they would instinctively and inherently know to just go find a field of centella and go roll around in it because they knew that it had magical healing properties for their bodies. So they got wise to that and they're like, this is an incredible ingredient. Let's start putting it in our formulations. So this centella plant, in my opinion, I'm just going to break it down. I think it looks like cilantro. So if you're a cilantro eater, it's like a little leaf and a long stem, and it's about the size of a nickel. All right. So the centella plant is also widely used, but the way that it's grown in those regions, in the Asian regions, and then it is usually harvested and then dried to a spice where it's just cheaper to ship it. It has a longer shelf life. But our chairman, when he was designing and formulating all the things, he did not want to do that because you lose a lot of the nutrient transfer that happens when you have a fresh extract. And so that is something that is a core principle in the way that our products are formulated, is that we never dry our centella out to a spice, but we don't even use the basic centella. So that's going to bring me to number 2, which is our Jeju lava energy water. Let's just shift real quick to this second item. Okay, this stuff is so unique and special. Jeju lava energy water there is a tiny little island off the southern coast of Korea called Jeju Island. It's like the Hawaii of Korea. And it was discovered that there was this massive cave full of seawater that had been trapped in there for over 400,000 years. And that water was continuously, just washed around in there. And basically the lava rock that encapsulated it created this filtration system that gave it a mineral profile that's basically like the fountain of youth. It's extraordinary. It's magical water. And when it was discovered, the UNESCO World Heritage Foundation basically put the brakes on and they're saying, not so fast. We need to put an environmental protection on this, which the Korean government was in full agreement on. Okay, it's very special. In fact, it's so special that these types of environments have only been discovered in the world in 4 different places. So one is in Japan, one is in Hawaii, one is in Spain, and then ours is in Korea. The other 3, for various reasons, are not usable. The one in Japan, they are fearing contamination. The one that's in Hawaii, it's too deep to get it out. It's cost prohibitive. And the one that's in Spain is so full of debris and sand, to filter that all out, you would have to change its very nature to get it to make it even usable. So this situation that we have here is one of 4 in the world, but it's really only one of 1 in terms of how it can be used. Okay. It is the perfect scenario. The environment there is just right and perfect. And so they slapped that environmental protection on it. But the Korean government worked with UNESCO World Heritage Foundation to dole out 20 different contracts to different industries, and in order to kind of do research to help us understand the benefits of this water and really how special and amazing that it is. And Riemann got the contract for the skincare and beauty business. So there was some for like food and beverage and other different industries. So when I say, let's like really wrap our head around how unique and special and rare it is. So we have a contract to use this water where we are in collaboration with the government and the UNESCO World Heritage, that we're doing all this beautiful research and handing all of that beautiful information over. But at the same time, the reward is that we get to use it in our products, okay, for the next 20 years, which is incredible. So back to Chairman On and his mad science experiment. So he said, what if we took the basic cilantro size Centella asiatica plant, and instead of just watering it with the natural rainwater out in the fields, we take it in a greenhouse and we water it exclusively with the Jeju Lava Energy water, I wonder what would happen. I wonder what would happen. Something magical happened, and that leaf size went to the size of my outstretched hand. They're enormous. So what we have is a brand new species of plant called the giant byungpul plant that is one of one. We are the only ones in the world that have it. And we take that plant and we extract it, and we use those fresh extracts. Remember I said we don't dry to a spice. And then we put them into number 3 in the big 3, which is our nanoliposomal technology. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Nanoliposomal technology is expensive. It's expensive. It's so fancy that most companies do not even bother with it because it is innovation and technology that is it's the tip of the sword. So even just a company that was using basic ingredients. Let's just say they were just using your basic stuff, the stuff we see in the US all the time, the niacinamides, the hyaluronics, the vitamin C's, the whatever, but they nano-sized it. That would be something special. What we have is something so incredible because we are using heritage ingredients that have basically gone through like some superhero treatment is literally what it is. It's like a radioactive spider bite, and we created something completely new and different. And not to mention, do you know how difficult it is to get a patent? You can't just grow it one time and be like, hey, we got this one leaf that's like super big, and so let's just put a stamp on it and call it new. No, we had to prove it again and again and again and again, crop after crop after crop for like 5 years to prove that it wasn't a fluke and that we indeed did stumble on something so special that it was a brand new species of plant and it's ours. So we took these 2 beautiful elements of Mother Nature and we mashed them up and we made a remix. And that remix is so dope. And that is what we have. And we use that unique thing and put it through the nanoliposomal technology, which is basically like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids machine. It takes those molecules and shrinks them down to like 1/40th of the size of your pore. And so we have these gentle, safe ingredients that come from nature that are delivered into your skin, into the deepest layers, where they can actually do the work of improving the cellular health of your skin. And the benefit is that you see it in aesthetics on the surface. So it is mind-blowing. I know I went into the science, but those big 3 make us one of one. I cannot stand, people are always coming at me, Katie, this skincare is better. Katie, is this skincare is better, but this one is better. Oh, this one's a cosmeceutical. I can get it in a doctor's office. I don't care what it is. When the only thing that's better than being better is being the only one. And we can safely say that we are the only one in the world with all of that. So I hope that that gets you excited because that really got me very, very excited. So the other things, I just want to touch on a few cool other aspects of our company. We're vertically integrated. From the dirt to your door, we control every aspect of what's going on. How we grow our plants. We're never going to have a bad crop. We just opened this 600,000 foot smart farm right in Jeju Island. We do it all at the source. We have an Ask Base, Ask Labs, beautiful buildings where we do all that research and the science, and we're constantly innovating and looking to get new awards and new patents. And we're just really, really, really innovative with our other product lines. Now our hair care and our body care, and all of those things have our patent ingredients infused in them. So whether you're getting, a consumable product or whatever, any place where a distilled water ingredient would be called for in our formula, we're not putting distilled water in it. We're putting the Jeju water in it. So we're maximizing these benefits into the products, and the proof is on my face. I'm 47 years old. I'm 40. Do you know, every single morning when I started using this, I would get up and I'm like looking in the mirror, trying to like, what's going on? It was the craziest 6 to 8 weeks at the beginning. And then truly the results just kept compounding over time. This is a practice. This is a life practice. That's why in Korea, they teach their young children and to start taking care of their skin at such a young age, because they have glass skin for life. And that's what we want. So being vertically integrated is super cool because we can control all of the aspects of the production, to the bottling, to the testing, to the quality control, to the scaling of the business. It really does, from a business perspective, give me a lot of peace of mind knowing that we are in control. We don't have to rely on anyone else for our businesses to be sustainable. We also have Remon Village, which is very cool, especially for our members and our planners, because it is a 5-star resort that we built on Jeju Island to basically host members of our company. So if you rank to a certain rank or you qualify for a trip, you could get an invitation to come and see where the magic happens. It's like the Disneyland of Remon. And then again, I said the Ask Base and Ask Labs, which is our places where we do all of our like testing and quality control and all of the beautiful give back that we give to the UNESCO Heritage Foundation. So let's transition now into the House of Remon and just walk through a few of our product lines really quickly. So like I said at the beginning, we have our ICD skincare. And I just want to touch on this from this perspective of how to sell it. You guys are here tonight because of the opportunity of this business. And I just walked you through why the products and the formulations are so special. But here's, for me, why I love this skincare line. There's many reasons, but one that I truly believe is so special is because it's so simple to sell it. So even though we have a multi-step routine, which for some people can be like, hey, look, I've just used the soap and water all my life. Like, what is this multi-step thing? We have A or B. We have our ICD signature line, or we have our Radiantsum 100 line. And it's simple to sell A or B because we're not a company, like I said, that is prescribing a pill for everything. We are really, truly inherently linked to our K-beauty roots, which is honoring oneself through application, but it's also root cause dermatology. So we don't treat problems afterward, we treat the root cause. So to treat the root cause, you are either a signature girl or guy, or you are a Rad 100 girl or guy, okay? So sell, because a confused mind says no. When you have 90 different products and one is for acne and one is for hyperpigmentation and one is for, rosacea, and you have a pill, a pill, a pill, a pill, you're going to hand somebody a menu. I mean, it'd be like taking me to the ice cream store. I can't make a decision. Just give me 2 options and then I'll be happy. I'll be so happy. But if you give me 90, I'm going to be like, I need to taste them all. And then I'll be sick. So so the ICD skincare, I just love that because it truly speaks to the heart of what K-beauty really is. Okay, the hair care system. So I came for the skincare, but I stayed for the hair care, guys. It is sorcery. There's not another word for it. It is one of the most magical shower experiences you'll ever have in your life. I almost don't want to like spoil it for you by telling you too much because I truly want you to have that. I want you to have that moment where you're like, you leave and you're like, I just had the best shower of my life. But I will give you one little spoiler. So we do have a gorgeous shampoo, but the second thing that we have is something called a water treatment. And if you were to tell me that if something that I could pour out in my hand that looked just like water, and I would put it in my hair and I would start massaging it and adding a little bit more water and massaging more, that it would bloom into this like creamy explosion of conditioner, so creamy and amazing that I literally siphon it off and I'll shave my legs with it. It's so good. It's the most shocking sorcery ever. And honestly, I have like the world's most high maintenance 2-inch hair of all time. And for me, I don't know about you, but if somebody were to hand me a product that says this is for all hair types, I'd have laughed you out of the room. Like, absolutely no way. My hair is like, sassy. It needs certain things. It's dry, it's coarse, it's curly. So if you're giving me something that's for fine, thin hair, I'm sorry, you got the wrong girl. But this is truly for all hair types. It is that good. So I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on that. The lightening products, the gut microbiome product and our collagen products. So here's the thing. The microbiome is so closely linked to your skin. This is a skincare company that understands this relationship between the gut microbiome and your skin. So if you have poor motility or any kind of microbiome issue, this is going to help you. It is a very, very cool, very innovative product that I absolutely love. So, and it's also, I'll say, for somebody that really is doing all the things, right? So if someone comes to me and says, hey, Katie, I'm doing all the things. I'm drinking lots of water. I'm doing my skincare. I'm getting great sleep? Like, how can I level up my results like, how can I move the goalpost even one more level? I would say, are you taking a microbiome supplement? This is a way for you to take your results and maximize them even one more step. So for those people that are looking for that extra little edge, this is a beautiful way. When your microbiome is in good standing, your skin will be the benefactor of that. Okay, and finally, now we're up my alley. The ICD makeup is brand new as of April 16th. We're right in the beginning part of it, and it is next level. And I'll just boil it down to this little analogy. I feel like I have worked for a year straight on my skin. And I have to say, from the short-term result to the long-term result, I'm going to tell you this. For me personally, my short-term result in the first 6 8 weeks, I definitely saw an increase in hydration. I definitely saw a the laxity and the elasticity of my skin. The tone started to change a little bit, and then I hit my like 6 month mark, and I'm looking at all these other chicks that like started maybe 3 4 5 months before me, and I'm like, you've got that glassy, shiny, gorgeous, tight looking skin. Like, how cute and good for you. When's that gonna happen? I was like getting I felt like I was in my 6 month slump, like I plateaued a little bit. So if you're in your 6 month slump right now, don't stress. Just keep going. And so I knew again that this was a long-term plan. And so I stuck with it. And I would say between the 9 and 12 month mark for me was when I really started to see that, like, I'm feeling myself. My skin looks so good right now. I feel so good. So I just want to say, working this hard to get the skin where I want, the last thing I want to do is take some roller and some latex paint and paint these marble floors. Like a marble floor, your skin has luminosity, a tone and texture to it that's so incredible and important. The last thing you want to do is just coat it with something artificial and take all those results and just throw them out the window. So what we have, I'm going to show you. It's so innovative. It's called a cushion. You open it up like this, you open in here, and this is a cushion that is soaked with, it's not cream, it's not liquid, it's not powder, it's a cushion. It's something all its own, and it works so synergistically with our makeup so that I'm not painting the marble floor. And that's the best description I can give you of something that's just in a league of its own. And the fact that it has good for your skin ingredients in it is just, it's not a substitute. I will say that. You'll hear a lot of buzz about in the world about like, oh, this is skincare infused makeup. It's not a substitute for your skincare. So it would be like, not, if skincare is brushing your teeth every day, this is like mouthwash. Okay. You can't just mouthwash every day and not get a cavity. You know what I mean? You're going to need to brush. And so they go hand in hand to make your mouth clean and good, but you really do need both. Okay, finally, why now? Okay, why did I say yes? I was humming along. I mean, I had a good business going, and for me, the first thing was the $2.5 billion in sales. Okay, I had a booming business. The company that I was with was in, North America only. We had done like $50 million in like 8 years. And I'm like, this is the American dream. Sweet, let's go. Like, I was all excited. And then all of a sudden I hear this company has just landed in North America and they opened this amazing office in Irvine, and that they did $2.5 billion. And here they were to come gobbling up the US and Canada. And I was like, what? I'm thinking 50 million is a good thing. And here we are. And it was like 2.5 billion. That really, really got my attention. The second thing is that I'm just not getting any younger. And so the older I got, the more I started to prioritize my skincare, even as an absolute component to my makeup situation. The makeup, it will only look as good if your skin is in good condition. I don't care what your makeup is. If you have a lot of texture going on your face because your skin is dry or scaly or flaky or not right, there is nothing you can do to create a different texture with makeup. It just won't happen. So taking care of your skin is step one. It will always be step one. So the older I got and the more I started to witness my skin changing, I needed skincare regardless. And I knew that the Koreans had the gold standard. This is the Top Gun of skincare. So, and the more I heard the backstory, the more I understood the timing and the demand. And I just loved Rimon in Korean means rebirth. And founder and chairman, the whole genesis of his inspiration for this company was looking at his little 3-year-old daughter and just looking at her face and saying, like, how do we just have that? How do we just stop right there? And that's what we have forever. And I just love the wholesome, beautiful, gentle message of that. Of he also knew, like, if I'm not going to create a product, if it's not safe enough for me to put on my daughter, I'm not going to put it on anybody else's face. So for me, that was a huge part of it too. I think that anytime that you're recommending a product for somebody, you're putting yourself on the line. So the last thing that I would want is to take risks with something that might be too harsh for somebody and then you run into a problem. Do you realize that when someone is offering to be your customer, they're handing you, and I learned this in my photography business, they're handing you their appearance. That is intimacy. They're saying, this is my face, help me, please don't screw it up. So that's a big responsibility. So why would I go rolling the dice with something that I wasn't 100% positive that was going to be gentle and safe and give them a beautiful result? So for me, from a sales perspective, from a building a business perspective, that integrity was so key for me. So the more I heard the backstory of the company, this and the 10 billion, I want to tell you guys, especially I know we're listening in from all parts of the world tonight, and you honor me with your time. And believe me, I'm blown away by all the different countries that are here tonight. No pressure. But I know that in North America, currently K beauty is about a $10 billion industry. And in the next 10 years, it's going to grow to $30 billion. And that's not just unique to the United States. That's unique to all parts of the world. The demand for Google searches for Korean skincare or K beauty is up like 350%. So what did that tell me? I put my single mom business lady hat on for 5 minutes and I'm like, somebody going to be making all that money. It might as well be me, right? Somebody's going to be making this money in the next 10 years. And the beautiful thing that we have going on here is that it's all solved for us. The phone is already ringing. The Google searches are pouring in and we have the answer. So all we have to do is pick up the phone and say, I have what you're looking for. It's already patented. It's already tested. It's already proven. We have 2.5 billion reasons why we know it's going to work. It's not like we're just having a party for the first time and we got our little snacks and our disco ball and our DJ and we're like, I wonder if anyone's going to come. We know they're going to come. They're beating down the door. There's a velvet rope and a line out the door. We already know that we have the answer. And so for me, this is a no-brainer because we already have so much data that tells it's going to work. So we're not flying blind. And when I started, I knew those things, and that was enough to just get me to say yes. And whenever I said yes, here's exactly what I did. I just started calling my friends and I said, look, I feel like I got a hot stock tip. I feel like I just got offered Zoom stock and it's 2020 and things are about to shut down and we're going to need to be able to connect with each other. And for me to sleep on this would be a massive problem. The other thing about a business like this is that I absolutely called my friends first because I want to help them. I want them to benefit from the things that I know are going to be life-changing opportunities. Why would I gatekeep on my friends? The last thing in the world I want is for them to call me in 5 years and be like, you did all of this and you never called me? How could you? Like, how could you how could you not call me about this? Like, what is wrong with you? So I called them all. I didn't even have any kit. I didn't have any products. I ranked to manager and senior manager I think I had my kit when I hit senior manager. I actually had products for like 2 days. So it took me about 40 days to hit team leader. Just to give you guys some perspective, because Tim's going to be talking about the comp plan here in just a second. And that was it's beautiful to win here. It makes it easy to win here. We have so much runway in the world. We're going to be in 50 countries in 5 years. We are gobbling up the globe. We are in 8 countries now worldwide. And the absolute key to all of this goes back to the very beginning of my talk, which is my purpose, my ethos of what makes me get excited to go and wake up and every single day is that I get to care about people with this business. It aligns with my core beliefs, the safety, the efficacy, the non-toxic aspects of our products, and then to be part of someone's personal transformation, either from the customer standpoint, like here is a product that I know is going to build your confidence in a way that you maybe have forgotten, or We loosely even say in our company, and the person that's going to pick up the call here is the person that coined this phrase, we change your face and we change your finances. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much for your time tonight. Tim is going to talk to you guys about the comp plan and how you truly can this can author your own personal transformation story for you, your family, your friends, whether it's with their face and our beautiful products, or whether it's with your energy and your commitment to yourself and your big vision. We are looking for people that want more for their lives. They want to have big vision, and we have it. This is a silver platter moment for you in your life that could change everything. So thank you so much for your time tonight. I had a great time. And Tim, thanks for having me.
Well, now I took some notes tonight. It's the same. There's only a couple people that I put down. I will never do a presentation after them because they're too good. Jermaine Johnson and you.
Oh, well, this is fun. You guys
you
are in
so
for a
good.
treat. Tim is the king of energy. Usually his Zoom says money magnet, and he is a master builder. He's been in the industry a very long time, and we are so honored that he is given his himself to this company because he is such a gift to all of us. So thank you so much, Tim.
That was so magical. I'm so excited. I know everybody's feeling the same way that I am, and what an amazing, outstanding. It really just kind of you made it so obvious, right? So I'm just going to real quickly just go through the compensation plan here. I'm not going to take it much time. After that, I'm like, if I was seeing this for the first time, I'd be like, just send me your link to my friend about 10 minutes ago, because Katie did such an amazing job. And it's always a treat to obviously get a chance to hear her share. So I'm super excited. Real quickly, guys, my background, I got started, Katie had mentioned, I got started about 30 years ago in this space. I was at a point in time in my life where, at that time I was in high school, and, I was 17 years old. And I was working at a go-kart track, making minimum wage, was scared about my future, came from a super poor family. I won't get into too many details of my background, but when I got around wealthy people, they said, hey, look, we'll show you how to do it. And that to me was like, I got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Worst thing that can happen to me is I learned some stuff. Best thing that can happen to me is what they're saying could become a reality, and I might be able to become successful. So that first year, my senior in high school, was able to make 147,000 doing this business in this industry. And I was like, this is amazing. And over the last 30 years, I've really learned a lot about this business. And the biggest thing that I've learned is the money is in beauty. I know that sounds silly, probably for many of you. You're like, okay, we got an ugly guy talking about beauty. Okay, I can understand Katie talking about it, but I don't get it. Like, why? And the reason being is because my products will find good quality people, right? If I have a good quality product, that's what's going to attract great quality people. So when I saw the Remon products, a good friend of mine, a gentleman that, I've known for, 20, 25, 26 years, he sent me some products. He's like a little brother to me. And he's like, hey, Tim, check out these products. And at that time I was in a skincare company. I'd already sold $1 billion worth of that product. And when I saw these products, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I'd never seen results like that. I'll even show you guys a picture of what these results, like this is me on the left. I tell my wife all the time, I say, babe, I can't believe you made out with an ugly guy like that. I say, babe, what are you doing? And when I saw this information for the first time, I was like, man, Danny had shared with me how the products came about, just what you heard from obviously from Katie Martin. And I was like, this is unbelievable, man, with the story, with the products, this is going to grow like wildfire through a dry brush field. And, I got excited about it, came on board. I ended up selling my old business that I was a part of, and walked away from a huge income and came over to Remon. And it's been the greatest decision of my life. I've never been a part of a company that has such amazing products. And, and you look at the products and the packaging, and I always tell people the packaging is important. And the reason being is because over the last 5 years, this industry has shifted a lot to online sales. It's not the only way to build, but it is a way that actually exists a lot. And Katie Martin's one of the best at it. And the people that like basically will show pictures online before and afters, and they build through social media, the people that are buying the products from them haven't really necessarily been properly sold, right? They're excited about it. They heard their friend talking about it, or they saw somebody talking about it. So they purchased the products. And that first exposure, that first impression is so valuable. And when people see the quality and the packaging, like the packaging of these products is unbelievable. I can't believe how amazing the packaging is. So that's important, but it's more important is obviously what's in the bottle. And whenever they put it on their face, they get blown away by the results. You can see for myself, I went from super ugly to just a little less ugly, right? So that's all I was going for. And we all know how the most traditionally, a company will manufacture a product. They'll sell to distributors, distributors will sell it to wholesalers, wholesalers sell it to retailers, and retailers sell it to customers. And by the time the customer gets their hands on it, all those markups get passed on to the customer. What Remon does is they put these products in our hand and partner up with us and allow us to go out and promote these products. So we can promote them direct to consumer. So I know people with skin, right? Think about yourself. Who do you know that has a face, right? We know a couple of people that have several faces, right? So we know people with skin, right? And then retailers, how I approach retailers is typically, you know, my wife's got people that she sees for her nails, for, you know, her lashes, for her, you know, her hair. And people have these connections that they have these relationships with that they go to on a consistent basis, mainly women. And whenever they have these connections that they go to consistently and they have these relationships with, you can introduce the products to people that you know that own these retail shops. And we get a lot of success to that. Obviously, the online channel, which is what we were talking about earlier. And a lot of times what happens is people that have these online influencers, what they love about the Remon opportunity is when customers create an account, they're going to get a 5% rewards off of their next purchase. But also once they hit a certain threshold, they're going to get 10% off on all their purchases. They hit that VIP status. So what customers, you know, they reorder like crazy with this product, but more importantly, it helps us have the opportunity to be able to create residual income. So I like to give examples. I'm one of those kind of guys like Ike Numbers. When we promote products, we make anywhere between 10 to 50% on our personal commission. So I like to give the example, if you enroll 10 new customers a month for a 12-month average, or for 12 months, that every month, let's say they were spending about 200 bonus points on average, right? And if they were doing that a month, and if you're at 50% of that number, you're going to be making about $12,000 a month on your personal sales. So that's a pretty good idea. Most people can see how making an extra $12,000 a month could offset the cost of living. And even if you got 10 customers a month and doing the same thing, for 12 months that we're averaging 250 bonus points every month, if you're at 50%, you're still making $6,000 a month. Now, if you got 0 customers a month, you obviously are going to make $0. So these products are amazing, right? The bottling, the packaging, everything. But they're not going to sprout arms and legs and walk over and talk to people, right? You actually have to communicate, however that is. And we've got an amazing training program that will walk you through how that works, right? So how do you go from 10 to 50? Let's talk a little bit about that, right? The first position, the majority of people get started at is planner. Some people get started at manager. Some people get started senior manager. Doesn't make a difference where you get started. You can work your way up. Everybody's welcome to be able to have success here. But when you start off as a planner, anytime you buy a product, you're going to get 10% rebate and you're going to get 10% commission on anytime you sell a product. Once you accumulate 3,000 in what we call sales points, okay, within a 3-month period, now you get to become a manager. Now, as a manager, you're going to make 20 to 30%, right? It's a sliding scale depending on how many customers, how much volume you create for yourself, but you can get a full 30% as a manager. And once you accumulate 6,000 sales points within a 3-month period, and that's not just you personally, it's you and anybody that if you have buddies of yours that you know that want to have a better quality of life, you can introduce them to the Remon opportunity. They can get started on your team and you can get an override on what their performance is. So that was something that really attracted me because I was like, wow, this is a way for me to be able to work smarter, not just work harder, right? And at my job, I was working hard, but I felt like I was spinning my tires. So as a senior manager, you can make more money. And as a team leader, you can get 40 to 50%, right? And that's a really exciting position. And we can teach you in our trainings how you can get to that rank, okay? So I just wanted to touch on this tonight. I'll show you guys another example. We have a unilevel structure as well. Whenever you start building your team, you can get paid percentages on your organization as your organization starts to grow. And I really love this compensation plan. In 30 years in this business, I've never been in a compensation plan that's grown so fast, right? The type of income that we've been able to generate in the short time that we've been here, it's absolutely phenomenal, right? It's absolutely life-changing. Not a day goes by where I'm not thanking, Danny Bay for introducing me to this business, because when I saw this opportunity for the first time, I said to myself, this is unbelievable to be able to have the stability and credibility of a company that's already done $2.5 billion plus in sales, but have the income potential of a brand new company, because right now, nobody knows about this in North America. Nobody knows about this around the world. Every country that we go into is absolutely wide open. And like Katie said, we're going to be going to 50 countries in the next 5 years. So as we grow this thing around the world, you could build a massive organization. I see all these numbers. What does all this mean? We'll go over this in comp plan training, but let me just real quickly explain you guys an example, right? So if, let's say that you had 3 friends that you knew that were open-minded to making more money, and say they knew 3 friends and you started to build this distribution network. Say they knew 3 would be 27 and everybody just averaged 3. Some people will do 3. Some people like Katie, she'll bring on 103, right? So it all depends on the people that you know. But what happens is if you stay consistent and you grow this business and you share the opportunity and teach others to do the same, if you built a team like what I just shared with you there, and if everybody was averaging 1,000 bonus points per planner every month, what would happen is you'd be making an extra 33,000 a month. And I'm pretty confident when I saw 33,000 a month with just introducing it to 3, I was like, this is going to be unbelievable. Because I'm not the type of person likes to, I don't let my minimums be my maximums, right? When I got started in Remont, I was like, man, I'm talking to everybody. I don't want anybody to miss out on this, right? So I'm showing you a very small number, right? You're allowed to share this with as many people as possible. Now, if you're the type of person that's like, well, you know what, Tim, I'm kind of like, good things don't happen to people like me or whatever. Let's say you failed 90% of the example, right? That's what I was used to in my life. Everything I've done, I've kind of been a failure at, right? If you failed 90% of what I just shared with you, you're still making what, a $3,300 a month residual income. You couple $3,300 a month on top of your current income. If that check showed up on a residual basis, would you cash it or burn it? Right now, for some people, like somebody like a Katie Martin, she's like, well, what, that first number is great. Why don't we double it? Right? Why don't you show me double success? Right? And that's where you can make that substantial income. So when you get started in Remont, what people love about this opportunity is the fact you own a business, right? It's an actual a business. And if you get started any type of a business that you own, whether it be, let's say that I owned a gas station, what's the first thing I should do? Right? Get some gas. If I own a bicycle company, what would you recommend? Right? Probably buy a bike, buy some bikes, right? If I own a liquor store, right? You know what I mean? Probably have some liquor. When you get started in a skincare company, obviously, what do you think you need? Right? You need to get some products, right? So when I got started in Remont, I knew that I needed to get my hands on these products, right? Because I knew that I was going to start promoting right away, right? I'm not one of those people that's going to go toe in, I'm going all in, right? So let me share with you real quickly the packages that are available when you become a planner. They're available for your first 30 days, okay? So when somebody gets started, they've got 30 days to be able to get these. If you've been in longer than 30 days right now because we had a system migration, I think actually all planners are allowed to be able to get these right now. So this is amazing, right? So these are the different packages available. Obviously, by far the most popular kit is the Starter Kit Premium, right? That is by far the most popular set. When I got started, I got 4 of those right out the gates, right? Number one is because that obviously qualified me for senior manager on day 1, but I needed these products. I need to be able to have these products in my hands, right? Because when my buddies came over and got started, I need to be able to give them products. I was giving them products on the spot. And then whenever they ordered the products right there on the spot, they would send it back to me, right? And I would replenish what I gave to them so I could go fast, right? Starter Kit Plus is a pretty popular package as well, right? That package is $1,133. The most popular, like I said, the Starter Kit Premium, the $1,671 in the US. The starter kit, the X-Line starter kit and the smaller starter sets, they're not really that popular because most people think, they're probably for customers, but not for people that really want to build a business, because they know most people that are business minded know they got to have their hands on products if they want to be successful, right? You don't want to be able to go out there and, rub a website on somebody's face, or, tell somebody about a product that you haven't necessarily have used, tried it, and have really a testimonial for, right? So the majority of people, when they get started, they load themselves up with products so they can promote it quick and they can grow their business fast. That's what most people do. But you can do whatever you want. In Canada, they have different sets as well. In Hong Kong, they got different sets. In Malaysia, Singapore, Mexico, everything. There's slight variations, but it's pretty much consistent around the boards in the same ballpark. But the most important thing is this: if not now, then when, right? If not you, then who? And if not this, then what? Because this company, we're going to grow this thing around the world, and we have the opportunity to be able to help people make money. And we have a matching bonus that's not like nobody else in the industry, where you can actually make substantial income by helping develop leadership and helping them become successful. This was the reason why I got started, because just like Katie Martin, I love helping people win. I love helping people succeed. And when you help people win here, you can make a substantial amount of income through our leadership match bonus, which we'll explain to you more in the compensation plan. There's a lot of money on the table there. Right now, this month, they're running a promotion. Anybody that sponsors 3 brand new people and helps them generate 1,000 in SP this month. So if you have 3 people started with a start date in May, you help them generate 1,000 in SP this month, by the end of the month, you're going to earn $500 extra bonus for helping them get started and starting to win with the opportunity. And you're allowed to do this as many times you want. If you introduce it to 6, you'll make 1,000. You want to do a 9, you can make, 1,500. I just like helping people make a lot of money. I didn't get involved in Remon for a 5-hour bonus, and I know majority of you didn't as well. But if the money's on the table, you want to be obviously you want to be able to get your, pick up all the money that's available. This promotion has got people running like never before, because this is on top of the regular compensation one. So there's a lot of money on the table for introducing people this month as well. We got events like nobody else's business. We just came back from an event in Las Vegas. Amazing event, so much fun, so much excitement. We do events twice a year. We have another one coming up in Las Vegas in September, I believe it is. So much fun. Make sure you take advantage of the events. And then obviously I want to just real quickly, a couple of things that are going on. We're expanding this thing to 50 countries next 5 years. We just opened up Malaysia, Singapore, about to open up Philippines and Japan. We opened up Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea, Mexico, Canada, US. We're going to grow this thing around the world. And we've got a couple promotions right now. The Mother Day promotion right now, this is by far one of my most favorite promotions. Why? Because you have these products, get these in your hands for your moms, man. They get so excited. Anybody that's a man that if you're in the business, you want to talk to them because they have no idea what to buy for their moms, or if their wives, they have no idea what to buy. You know how men are. So you want to just say, call the men that and say, hey, I got great news. I got something for you. So you can make sure your mom, your sister, whoever your loved ones are, you can get them the right gift that they're going to love. So everybody's taking advantage of this. This ends on Sunday. Make sure you don't let this moment in time slip through your fingertips with this promotion. Tuesday's orientation. I'm so excited about it. I love these people. Anna Kim, MJ Kim, unbelievable. Chris Kim. We got 3 Kims, right? It's going to be amazing. My partner, Chris Kim, powerful story. Anna Perry, such an amazing heart. And Tracy Zimmer, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. They're going to be doing an orientation Tuesday night. Everybody's excited about that. We've got the university, the product university is back every Wednesday at 6 p.m. This is amazing. Everybody loves product university. You want to be able to, if you get able to attend all 8 sessions, you can actually get recognized at the Roadmap event. I graduated from the last product university that we did. I got recognized at the event. Man, I was like, this is unbelievable, man. The product university, you'll love it. The Remon reveal that's going on Thursday, everybody's excited about that. And obviously this moment in time, you guys right now, you don't want to let it slip through your fingertips, right? We are going to build this company around the world, and you have an opportunity to be able to be in a position to win big. And tonight we gave you so much information. I know I talked really fast trying to get through this in an adequate time, but just trust me when I tell you, the support you'll receive here, you are going to love. Some of the best relationships you'll ever meet, I really are from this business. That's one of the things that we didn't talk a lot about tonight, but I would say that's one of the best things, man, because we attract quality people, right? You attract positive people. You attract optimistic people, people that want to have more, that want to do more. You attract people to this business, right? Cynical people, negative people, they don't want to get started in this, right? So we attract the great quality people in the world that you want to be around. Like, you want to be around positive, optimistic people that are pulling on the same end of the rope with you to help you become a success, to help you realize your goals and dreams. That's what I love the most, is the support structure. The ideas and information that I acquired early on in my career 30 years ago when I was only 17 years old, it made me a better father. It made me a better husband. It made me a better member of my community. And that to me is what it's all about. It's like for the last 18 years, I've been, mentoring kids, right? I coached youth football for the last 18 years. And it's like, to see those kids that I coach go off into life and do amazing things, like, that's my passion, but it isn't paid. So this opportunity is the same thing, coaching and helping people, right? So I love the fact that we have the opportunity to be able to help people win, help people succeed, help them unlock their greatness, right? And as a result of that, you benefit from helping people win. So it's such a win-win situation. So tonight you got to be thinking to yourself, what's the next step? Super simple, right? Get back to your buddy that invited you on and get their link, right? They'll walk you through it tonight, the link, and they'll help you get enrolled, right? And once you get enrolled, they'll help you set up your link so you can start sharing it with customers. You can start sharing it and start building your business. So Tuesday, we got an orientation training. Wednesday, we got product university training. Thursday, we got the Remon reveal just like this. The Karen Kane, you're going to love Karen Kane, man. She is so good. She's one of my favorite as well. You'll love her, just a powerhouse. And she was one of the people that really made me go, you know what, I got to do this, because she didn't have any experience in this industry and she was making so much money. I was like, oh, we're going to do this, right? So I recommend tonight getting back to your buddy that invited you on, get their link. Want to say, Katie, man, I appreciate tag teaming this with you. We had too much fun. One of the best in the business, man. You were on fire tonight. So thank you, Katie. And thanks everybody for joining us here. And we're going to see you guys all at the top. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody. Let's make it happen. Take care.